You and I as the Israelites, have to war within yourselves and against your own fleshly lust. You have to war with worldly temptation. With all the spiritual energy you can muster, war for the kingdom of Yah.
We aim and shoot scriptural bullets at demon troops. I'm just spitting truth. Look at yourself if it's staying you. Release yourself from the lies and the doctrine you clinging to. Repenting mean the path that you walk and you see it through. That mean you gotta switch up your people, leaving the crew. That mean you gotta watch what you say and watch what you do. But until you see the truth.
All right, Shalom Israel. First, I want to start off by giving all praise to the Most High Yah. I'll do so in the name of the Son, Yahweh Shah. And the title of today's lesson is Cherish Your Blessings. You don't deserve them anyway. So first, let's start off by looking at what the definition of a blessing is. And it is a bestower of divine, this is the dictionary definition, bestower of divine favor. And if you go to the biblical definition, not the blue letter, the word barak, which means to praise or salute. So why do we deserve praise or favor from the Most High? And the answer is you don't. You get Genesis 39, 20, and 21.
This is the book of Genesis 39 and 21. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison. And whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it.
You see that? This is when Joseph was sold by his brothers into slavery. And Joseph found favor. Not that the Most High owed him that. He just, for whatever reason, the Most High picked him and favored him because that's what the Most High wanted to do. Not that Joseph earned that or deserved that, but the Most High just found favor in Joseph. You get Exodus 3, 21 and 22.
The book of Exodus 3, 21 and 22. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. And it shall come to pass that when ye go, ye shall not go out empty. But every woman shall borrow of her neighbor, and of her that sojourneth in her house, jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment. And ye shall put them upon your sons and upon your daughters, and ye shall spoil the Egyptians.
You see that? So you see that the Most High showed the Israelites favor in the sight of the Egyptians. You know, like I said, that's just the people that the Most High decided that he would choose. And you see it said that we would basically possess their silver and their jewels and their gold. Let me get Exodus 12, 35 and 36.
The book of Exodus 12, 35 and the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed the Egyptian jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. You said 46?
Just 36.
36.
35 and 36.
Salaki. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they lent unto them such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians.
You see that? So when the Most High brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, they didn't come out empty-handed looking crazy. They came out decked out in silver and gold and all kind of jewels too. So that favor wasn't just, well, I'm gonna bring y'all out here with the bare minimum. When he brought them out in style. Let me get Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
The book of Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art holy people to the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chose thee to be a special people to himself above all the people upon the face of the earth.
You see that the Most High chose us, not that we did something to deserve this. He chose us. Give me verse 7 and 8.
Verse 7 and 8. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because you was more in number than any people, for you were fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he have kept his oath, which he has sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out the house of the bondmen from the hand of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
You see that? Like I said, I'm just beating the dead horse now. It ain't nothing that they did or nothing that they necessarily earned, but that was just the Most High choosing us. So don't ever feel like you owed anything. You know, a little later on, in the list, we go get into what we really deserve. But don't ever feel like if something go your way that somebody owe you something and that the Most High owe you something. You definitely don't. Let me get Proverbs 3 and 4.
The book of Proverbs 3 and 4. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
See it. Salaki, give me 3 and 3 and verse 3 and then 3 and 4.
Salaki. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee, and bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thy heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man.
You see that? So first of all, to even begin to receive, to get favor, you got to understand that his favor comes from his mercy as well. So we not, like I said, what we really deserve, we ain't getting what we really deserve. So just keep that in mind. Let me get Nehemiah 9:13 through 21.
Nehemiah chapter 9, 13 through 21.
Okay.
Lucky brother. Thou comest down upon Mount Sinai, and spankest with them from heaven, and gave them right judgment and true laws, good statutes and commandments, and made it known unto them thy holy Sabbath, and commanded them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses thy servant.
You see that? So the Most High came and gave us his law and gave us his word. He did that for no other people. He gave us the commandments. He gave us the judgments for if we broke the commandments. Keep going.
And gave them bread from heaven for their hunger, and brought forth water from out the rock for their thirst, and promised them that they should go into the possession and go to possess the land which they have sworn to give them. But they and our fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hearkened not unto thy commandments.
You see that? So the Most High came and he when we were wandering in the wilderness outside, after he brought us out of Egypt, like I said, we had food, water, and shelter. And so he more than upheld his end of it. Like I said, not because anything that we had done, but because of his mercy and that he was good. Keep going.
And refused to obey. Neither were they mindful of the wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger and great kindness, and forsook them not.
You see that? So how great, how merciful, and how kind is the Most High that he didn't just wipe them out right then after they started breaking the commandments right there in the wilderness. How kind is the Most High? So don't ever sit here and think, oh Lord, why me? Yah, why me? Why you doing me like this, Yah? He didn't have to do nothing. He could have if he did what he should have did, we wouldn't even be here. So don't ever think that you get an unfair hand in life, because you're not. Extremely blessed to even be here walking around, to get a chance to even come back and try to keep these commandments. Keep going.
Yea, when they had made a molten calf and said, this is thy God that brought thee out of Egypt, and have wrought great provocations. Yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsook them not in the wilderness. The pillar of the cloud departed not from them by day to lead them in the way, neither the pillar of fire by night to show them light, and the way wherein they should go.
You see that? Even though they broke the commandments, they didn't forsake the Most High and made a gold calf out of the jewels that He gave them. That He gave them from the Egyptians, and they done made a idol out of it and get His idol more praise than they give the Most High that did it for them. How hard-headed are we as a people? And then, we got the nerve to sit here and complain about stupid stuff. And, you go into manifold mercies. That means just many, multiple, just time and time again. Keep going.
Verse 20, they gave also thy good spirit to instruct them, and withheld not the manna from their mouth, and gave them water for their thirst. Yea, 40 years did thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lack nothing. Their clothes wax not old, nor their feet swelleth not.
You see that their feet didn't even hurt. They was out there walking around for 40 years, and nobody ever could even say that their feet hurt. How good is the Most High for Him that they never even felt pain in their feet from walking around in the wilderness for 40 years? Well, now, if that ain't merciful and that ain't good, I don't know what is. Like I said, He's supposed to been wipe them out. But, like I said, don't think you better than the Israelites of old, and that you deserve more than what they got. We don't deserve nothing. Let me get into some of these current events, because let me see what we do deserve. Because you see a lot of people right now complaining that the government shut down and I can't get my food stamps and my assistance. We forsook the Most High. He had, like I said, He was raining food down from heaven. And we crying about the government don't want to give us food stamps. And like I said, we don't deserve none of this stuff. What are you complaining for about something you didn't work for and you don't deserve it? So, like I said, the Most High had gave us all this stuff, and we forsook that. We traded that in for the government. We traded that in for, employment, so to speak. We traded all that stuff in. People complaining about all the flights canceled. You complain about a flight cancel so you can't go on, your vacation and celebrate Thanksgiving or whatever holiday you want to celebrate. A lot of y'all just finished, not in this assembly, I hope, but a lot of people just came back from celebrating Halloween, but then want to complain about their flights canceled. You don't deserve nothing. Like I said, you deserve to be put to death, but the Most High is so merciful that He give you a chance to get it right. Let me see. Then you look at in the news, over 100 people got killed by floods and tsunamis in the Philippines. That's really what you deserve. Be grateful that wasn't you. That wasn't something going on where you stay at, wiping your place of habitation out. And then you look in Brazil, they had tornadoes tear up Brazil. It killed a few people down there. Why was that not your house getting knocked off the foundation? Why that wasn't you getting knocked over, a tree going across your head from a tornado? Why you weren't out there getting struck by lightning? Because the Most High is merciful. Because that's really what most of us deserve. I say pretty much all of us deserve that. Because we weren't born in this truth. Then you look in the Carolinas, they got homes up there. These rich people homes, they falling off the foundation because the erosion and the water washing them out because they so close to the beach. But then here you go complaining, but you still got a house to go to that you don't even deserve. Why wasn't your house getting knocked off the foundation and swept into the ocean? Why your house ain't getting flooded out right now? Because the Most High is merciful. That's why. So don't ever sit here and think because you're going through hardship, oh, yeah, why me? Why me? Woe is me. No. I said, if you got what you deserve, you wouldn't even be here. Most High would have been wiped you out. Let me get this article right quick because I know Bishop touched on this a couple of weeks ago. This is the Center of Disease Control, and this one is titled Missing and Abducted Children. Every 40 seconds, a child goes missing or is abducted in the United States. Approximately 840,000 children are reported missing each year, and the FBI estimates between 85 and 90% of these are children. While most reports of missing or abducted children are resolved within hours, many involve situations where a child goes missing permanently or for an extended period of time. These are some of the key issues surrounding missing and abducted children. Let me skip down a little bit. Non-family abductions include kidnapping committed by acquaintances and strangers. Acquaintance abductions make up 27% of child abductions and is committed by a disproportionately high number of juvenile offenders. Acquaintance abductions also have the highest number of female and teenage victims and is often associated with crimes such as sexual and physical assault. Abductions committed by strangers typically occur in outdoor locations. Stranger abduction is most likely to involve a firearm when compared to other types of abduction and is associated with sexual assault for female victims and robbery in male victims. So let me ask this. So 840,000 children go missing. 840,000 people go missing rather, and 85 to 90% of those are children. So keep this in mind. Is your child missing right now? Most likely not. Do you deserve for your child to be missing? If you want to go through these curses, yes, you do. But the Most High, like I said, he's so merciful. He let us enjoy our children for the most part. At least in this day and age, in slavery, we had to deal with this curse. But that's because we put ourselves in that situation and we earned that because we didn't keep these commandments. But like I said, be grateful that you have your children to enjoy. Be grateful that you have a house to enjoy. Be grateful that you have decent clothes to wear and food to eat to enjoy, because you don't deserve any of it, because we didn't keep the commandments of the Most High. Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
You see that? So we did what the Most High said. We would be set on high above all nations upon earth. Are we set on high right now? No, we're not. So what did that tell you? Clearly, we didn't do what the Most High said. Give me verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
You see that? So that's what we have to deal with. We didn't do what we were supposed to do, so we got to deal with these curses that's overcoming and pursuing us to this day. You see that? So actually drop down and give me verse 46.
Deuteronomy 28 and 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
You see that? So not only when we break these commandments are these curses going to be on us, they going to be on our children forever. For our children's children, and so forth and so on. So that's why I say, do you really deserve, you don't deserve to enjoy your children, because you didn't keep the commandments. So you see that? So just be grateful that you have them, because it's not owed to you. You don't deserve this. That's a blessing from the Most High that you got them. Let me get Leviticus 25, 21 through 24.
Leviticus 25, 21 through 24. Then will I command my blessing upon ye in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3
Salakia.
years.
Leviticus 26. Salakia.
26 and 21. And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon ye, according to your sins. I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate.
You see that? And these beasts are not literal wild beasts, because I don't think I ever seen nobody get a gun put up to them and robbed by an animal. But you see that the beasts are these other nations, these other people that because we broke the commandments of the Most High. The Most High let these other nations get up over us. Keep going.
If ye will not be reformed by me by these things, but will walk contrary unto me, then will I also walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sins.
You see that? So when we don't do what the Most High say, we deserve punishment. Like I say, and historically, we have not done what the Most High said. So we deserve punishment. So don't ever think that you deserve nothing. Anything he do is extra. And that's him being merciful and showing you favor and blessing you. You don't deserve it. Let me get verse 46.
Verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
Between who?
By the hands of Moses. Oh, so like between the children of Israel and the Lord.
You see that? So the Most High didn't do this with nobody else but the children of Israel. Be grateful that he chose you. He didn't have to do that. Let me get Psalms 147 and 19 and 20.
Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statute and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any other nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
You see that the other nation, they don't have to deal with this because the Most High didn't choose them. They're going to have to deal with something else. They got a greater issue coming. But they not under this burden like we under this burden of being obedient to the Most High. You see that? So, but be grateful that he chose you, because it's definitely a lot of blessings that come with that. But like I say, the Most High don't owe you anything. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 21 and 27.
Sirach 21 and 27. When the ungodly curse of Satan, he curseth his own soul.
You see that? A lot of us that we so far in the sin that we can't even separate it from ourselves. So that's what I say. If you cursing Satan, it's like being on heroin. If you just cut heroin out cold turkey, you gonna have a problem. It might kill you. You see that? So if you some of you got sin so intertwined in your life, you just like Satan. You just like the devil. Your father's the devil right now. You can't just separate yourself from it. If you curse Satan, you're cursing yourself too. That's how much like him you are. So we got to do better than that and got to come back and keep these commandments. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 10, 29.
Sirach 10 and 29. Who would justify him that sinneth against his own soul? And who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life?
You see that? So when we sinning, we dishonoring our own soul. So we ain't doing ourselves no good. We harming ourselves. How you go look at somebody? You can't hold nobody in high regard that's going around just committing any manner of sin. That's why I said we got to turn back to the Most High, because I say you don't even deserve respect from your fellow brethren when you out here committing all kind of sin, doing whatever you want to do. So what make you think you deserve some kind of blessings from the Most High? You don't. Like I say, your blessing is you sitting here existing with a chance to get it right. That's the blessing. And you don't deserve nothing. You don't deserve that. So be grateful that you're getting that. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 27 and 3.
Sirach 27 and 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown.
You see that? All these curses shall come upon you and overtake you right there. Paraphrase down. If you don't do what the Most High say, you ain't holding yourself diligently and fearing the Most High, your house go crumble. And, as you can see, it has crumbled for a lot of us, especially you look at all the stuff our ancestors have been through. because we didn't hold ourselves diligently to the fear of the Most High. We put everything else in high regard above the Most High. Let me get 1 Peter 4, 8 through 11.
1 Peter 4 and 8. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man have received a gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God.
You see that? So when we be kind to each other, we'll cover a lot of the sins. Just your kindness to each other, your charity to one another will cover you for certain sins. If you look at the Christian church, especially back in the day, they were a lot more charitable than they are now, which is why, the black church from, maybe a couple of generations ago was held at a higher regard than what it is now. Because I don't know what they got going on now, but, they just collecting up a bunch of tithes and they ain't really doing nothing with it. But they're just taking your money, because they letting all kind of stuff go on in the church. But the black church back then, that was the thing. Even though they wasn't necessarily following the right doctrine, they loved each other and had charity for each other. So that's why it was held in such high regard. And back in the day, I say the black church now is an absolute joke in every regard. The doctrine false and the people false. So, that's why we gotta have charity for each other. I say that charity, you'll get a lot of mercy just from having charity for each other. Keep going.
Verse 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified through Jesus Christ, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
You see that? We got to speak. Our words got to be words out of this Bible, words from this book. We can't speak our own words. And you see that? And then, to get back to the Most High, we got to go through Yahweh Shai. He give us the chance to be able to come back. Because, like I said, if you follow that law by the letter, all of us would have been dead. Get this last verse, 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 8.
1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 8. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I become as sounding brass or a tingling cymbal.
You see that? You can go and break this word down left and right. You can get the best breakdown on the planet. Sit here and be rude and nasty after you finish doing it. It's like you just standing up there making a bunch of noise and it don't mean nothing. Keep going.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understanding all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
You said, I don't care about your breakdown of the 7 heads and 10 horns. I don't care about your breakdowns of the Isaiah. You can break down Isaiah and Ezekiel like nobody ever broke it down. Not have charity. It don't mean nothing. Keep going.
And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profits me nothing.
You see that? Not that go into you giving an appearance like you this nice, kind person. You do stuff for show. You see it on Facebook all the time. People sit there and do stuff for people, and they record it for views while they doing it. What difference do that make? You doing it for the wrong reason. You still have nothing. Keep going.
Verse 4. Charity suffered long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. Do not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked. Think of no evil.
Mm-hmm.
Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Where there shall be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
You see that? So charity must last forever. You know, a lot of these prophecies go eventually be fulfilled and come to an end. But we still have to have love and charity for one another. You see that? So that's the only way we can get mercy is if we give him mercy. We get these blessings by being a blessing to somebody else. Like I said, we don't deserve none of this stuff. You know, if you think you do, you need to check yourself and go back and, you need to humble yourself because you don't deserve nothing. You deserve all these curses that the Most High got in this book. But like I said, he's so merciful and so kind that he hadn't wiped all of us off the face of the earth. So with that, repent, come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Shalom.
You and I as the Israelites, have to war within yourselves and against your own fleshly lusts. You have to war with worldly temptation. With all the spiritual energy you can muster, war for the kingdom of Yah.
We aim and shoot scriptural bullets at demon troops. I'm just spitting truth. Look at yourself if it's staying in you. Release yourself from the lies and the doctrine you clinging to. Repenting mean the path that you walk and you see it through. That mean you gotta switch up your people leaving the crew. That mean you gotta watch what you say and watch what you do. But until you see the truth.